begin.
Hold it! Give me that!
When it comes to superheroes turned Street Fighters, DC Comics' stable of Super Friends have always received the short end of the stick. Injustice: Gods Among Us, the latest fighter from the House of Mortal Kombat, aims to break this combo with a fighting system that builds upon the lessons of MK while also introducing a few new tricks. But for all its complexities, Injustice unfortunately falls short when compared to its contemporaries. If you're familiar with 2009's Mortal Kombat, then you will feel right at home in Injustice. Character movement has that same deliberate, staccato style that gives it a distinct tempo from the genre's Japanese-developed counterparts. That style feeds into the satisfying weight and brutality of each attack, whether it's Bane breaking you over his knee or Hawkgirl taking her mace to someone's face. Wielding these characters feels powerful, and the destruction you bring upon your opponent and the environment adds excitement to each fight. While Mortal Kombat and Injustice have a similar feel, their underlying mechanics are very different. Injustice has 3 attack buttons and a special trait button. Whether it's flight, healing, or a simple strength boost, these traits are unique to each fighter and play into their unique abilities and history. These distinctions are clearly apparent and don't just boil down to slightly altered punches or kicks. Clashes are another interesting mechanic. When activated, they instantly interrupt a combo, and then both players secretly spend an amount of their super meter. If the fighter who initiated the clash spends more, he regains health proportional to the amount spent. Otherwise, he takes damage proportional to what his opponent spent. The threat of a clash adds an interesting dynamic to the fight by forcing you to constantly reevaluate how much meter you save and spend based on what your opponent has stored. While clashes have their limits, Injustice's interactable backgrounds are a constant hazard. Peppered throughout each stage are items, say a missile here, a motorcycle there, for characters to use in different ways. For some, they're weapons to be smashed over an opponent's head, while others use them as a springboard. Together, these items are a fun way to augment your arsenal and take stage awareness to a new extreme. Knowing that a combo could put your opponent near a deadly item could make you think twice before launching your assault. It's too bad that so many characters simply destroy these background objects. A stone tablet that Batman can leap from to reach another part of the screen, Superman just smashes. Superman, along with the game's other heavyweights, smashes almost everything. In some stages, it is too easy to smash all the interactable objects early on simply to deny your opponent their function. This is especially troublesome for characters with limited mobility who need these items to compensate for their shortcomings.
I knew that ape Deathstroke couldn't kill you.
Too bad for you.
Why so jumpy? I merely took it off standby. It's this button you've got to worry about.
There they are. Keep him talking, Bruce.
Don't wait for us, Barry. Go!
The story in Injustice, while grand in scope, is also full of shortcomings. This lengthy tale presents a world where Superman has reached his limit after being tricked into murdering his pregnant wife and unborn child, thereby triggering a nuclear bomb in the heart of Metropolis, which was linked to Lois's heartbeat. It is also a premise so ridiculous it borders on parody, but is presented in all seriousness. The cracks quickly begin to show as this narrative labors under the weight of finding new reasons for characters to stand around punching each other. By the end, you're left rolling your eyes and wondering how this could have happened. If you're new to fighting games, you will find Injustice's educational options disappointingly sparse. An extremely basic tutorial runs first-time fighters through the fundamentals, and that's about it. There's a practice mode, but any information on fighting game theory or character-specific instructions are left to independent study. The Star Lab missions, Injustice's version of Mortal Kombat's Challenge Tower, offer some character-specific instruction, but are more of an enjoyable distraction rather than a way to prepare for real combat. Online, Injustice offers the basics of player and ranked matches, along with the option of practicing online with a friend. Unfortunately, replay support is a glaring omission. While players in the same lobby can spectate matches, there's no way to record and replay other fights. Replays can offer fantastic insight for players of all skill levels on how to play their favorite fighters, but their absence further compounds Injustice's educational deficiencies. In terms of online performance, matches against opponents within the 3 or 4 bar connection range ran without serious delay. However, falling below this point can cause some noticeable lag between inputting a command and having it appear in the game. Injustice: Gods Among Us is a hard-hitting fighter that plays to the hardcore crowd. Its creative use of background objects coupled with satisfying fighting mechanics make it both fun and distinct from its contemporaries. But for newer players, the minimal instruction modes and disappointing story provide little incentive for your sustained interest, and the absence of replay support is a loss for everyone involved. Injustice is an enjoyable fighter, but the surrounding game is found wanting.
You're fired.